Right, so my ADHD is raging today. Absolutely fucking raging. And I have so many meetings I need to get ready for. And I think I kind of need to just body double with the void of the internet to get ready and then talk about something that I'm basically going to have to turn into a bit of a training for some girls that need to. They've been asking about this and I need to record a training, and I figured why not do it while I'm doing all this anyway, right? So we're going to get ready because why not? Don't judge my makeup techniques. I'm 31. I have no idea what I'm fucking doing. But this is what I do. Okay, so the topic, what I want to chat about today is how to know what's actually not working in your business. Because I feel like so many conversations I'm having recently is women who are coming to me and they're like, I need help with sales. And then after a 10-minute conversation, I'm like, no, you don't. You actually need help with this instead. Or they're like, I need help with launching my course. And then we have a conversation like, no, that's actually not the issue. This is the issue instead. And so I think instead of getting to the point where you're paying an expert to help you fix one thing and you actually need help in another area, let's just have the conversation about how to figure out what you actually need to focus on. Because for me, there are 3 distinct areas that are kind of like some people call them bottlenecks. I call them the leaks in the boat, right? Because there's nothing worse than the boat sinking and you're like got a bucket and you're trying to furiously bucket water out of the boat to stay afloat rather than finding out where the leak's coming from and actually fixing it. So for me, there's 3 distinct places that you'll have leaks in your boat. And the reason why I want to talk about this as well, not just because the conversations I'm having at the moment, is because we're about to start another round of the 90-day challenge. And in that, you need to know which area you're going to focus on. You need to know if the problem is a sales and visibility problem, if it's a loyalty and customer experience problem, or if it is a scaling and CEO mindset too many boat conversations, mindset and leadership problem. And that kind of determines what you're going to focus on for 90 days. And that's how you're going to grow and scale and expand your business and make more sales, because you actually know what problems need to be fixed and what you need to focus on to fix those problems. So that's what we're going to talk about while I do my makeup as well. And yes, before everyone has a fucking conniption about it, I do use the same brush for my blush and my highlighter and my powder. I don't know whether that's like a fucking makeup cardinal sin or something, but I cannot keep track of multiple brushes. My 9-year-old has freaking 14 makeup brushes that she does whatever she wants to do with. And I'm still from like stealing my mum's makeup in the 90s with one little blush brush in the Clinique compact type of vibe. So that's what I do, right? Okay, so the 3 parts of your business: how to tell what the problem is and how to fix it, and how that looks when you actually create a 90-day focus specifically for the problem that you're facing and what you need to fix. So if you are having problems, let's talk about it in like a medical term. If the symptom of where you're struggling right now is that you want more sales, you're not having inquiries and leads come through, you're not hitting the revenue targets that you want, you're not making sales, your social media growth isn't really growing, expanding, you're not having the engagement, the reach, you just don't have new inquiries or new leads or sales coming in. If that's kind of where you're struggling, it is a sales and a visibility issue as well. And so how do we fix that? If your problem is you're not getting sales and you don't have inquiries and new leads coming through, the problem is a sales and visibility. So the underlying of that, what's actually not working right now, is your social media is clearly not working, your content's not working, your pricing may be totally off, your offer suite may or may not need a little bit of tweaking, depending. And you basically have got a situation where people don't know who you are. They don't know how to pay you. You probably don't understand the customer buyer types or are leveraging them properly. You're probably not haven't got the right messaging or the right positioning, on top of the fact that no one knows who you are. And all in all, that leads to a situation where people either don't know you, don't value your expertise, and don't understand why they should buy from you, and then don't resonate with what you're actually saying enough to purchase said product or service from you. So it is a sales and a visibility issue. So how do we fix a sales and a visibility issue? First of all, you need to actually have a marketing plan. I know, you're gonna hate me for saying that. So many people like, oh, another bitch talking about fucking marketing plan, all the things I know I probably need to do but I haven't done. You need one. That is one of the biggest red flags of why this area of your business is struggling. The second thing is, do you know your customer buyer type? Do you know whether your consumers or your audience, your client base, the people who you're trying to actually sell to and promote to and market to, are they assertive buyers? Are they amiable buyers? Are they enthusiastic buyers? Or are they, what did I miss? Assertive, analytical, amiable, expressive. Is that right? Yeah. You have to know what your buyer type is, where your clients actually sit, because that will affect not only the language that you use to sell to these clients, it affects what information you need to give them for them to make a purchase. It affects the timeline and the decision-making process behind them actually going and getting their card details and either booking with you or purchasing something from you. All of that, if you don't know your customer buyer type, is honestly 9 times out of 10 probably wrong. And you get the situation where people are, selling in a way that attracts an amiable buyer, and then once they actually click through to buy something on their website, they're trying to sell them in an assertive way once they actually get on the website. So if you don't understand your customer buyer type, you can't have continuity across the board. You can't speak in their language. You can't sell to them the way they need to be sold to. You can't give them the information they need to be able to make a decision. And basically the whole thing is just a gigantic recipe for disaster. So if you're having a sales and visibility issue, this is like phase 1, and you need to understand your customer buyer type, learn about that, know it, implement. You need to understand your pricing as well, and whether that's like product to market fit is correct in terms of your pricing, and what pricing model you're running with too, because there's different pricing models. Whether you're doing hourly pricing, whether you're doing value-based pricing, whether you're doing, there's lots of different options, and I don't think people understand that. And you can't have with a client an hourly based conversation in terms of pricing and a value based conversation with pricing. Those are 2 completely different audiences. They're 2 completely different conversations. And if you're trying to have both of those at the same time, it's no wonder you're not closing your sales. So you need to focus on customer buyer types, your pricing, probably some money mindset work around making sure you've got cash pathways. So both income that comes in like lump chunks, and also income that is reoccurring, sustainable, predictable, subscription-based often money as well. So understanding different pricing models, different ways to get paid, and leveraging that so you have different options. Not that you're speaking like you're going to do hourly-based and value-based at the same time, because we've just discussed that doesn't work, but that so you have legs on a table. If you've got a table with one leg and something comes along and knocks that leg over, your table's fucked. That bitch falls over. If you have 4 legs on a table and one of them gets knocked out, you're probably going to have a bit more stability in your table/business. Is that making sense? So we want to have multiple revenue streams coming in, and we don't want to start all of them at once. I think that's a mistake lots of people make as well. We want to get to a point where we're diversifying our income streams, but we're going to start with nailing one really well first. So those are some things to think about. Also, if you're struggling with sales and visibility at this point in the process, you need to focus on what is your unique value position, what is your unique selling point. You need to understand your niche. And I have been the biggest advocate of being like anti-niche. And I think what I more needed to say to people is I'm anti-niche in the traditional conversations around you need to niche yourself down into a customer buyer type where you work with women named Sharon who live 25 kilometers out of the city and are 47 and have 2 Dachshunds. That's not the type of niching we're talking about. We're talking about you need to understand your buyer type as a niche. You need to understand your values. You need to understand what you do, who you help, and how you serve them. And that creates a niche where you can confidently stand behind what you do. 99% of the time when people come to work with me, their problem sits in this bracket of that it's a sales and visibility issue, and it often comes back to the fact they're not clear on the niche, they don't know exactly who they serve and how they help them, they're trying to be too many different things at once and be all the things. But it's like an eventually conversation. Get to the point where you are all the things, but start by being really good at just one thing. Yeah. So that's kind of where we sit. If it's a sales and visibility issue, price point, customer buyer type, UVP, USP, marketing plan, social media and content. Pick one platform to start with and get really good at it. Completely understand it, completely know how it works, and then add your second platform, and then add your third platform, and that type of thing. If you're doing a 90-day plan with me and you're doing like the 90-day challenges, 4 of them throughout the year, obviously, your first challenge, we're doing one platform. You might pick Instagram. The second challenge, we might be adding Facebook groups. In the third challenge, we may consider Pinterest. The fourth challenge, we might be working on your Google Analytics. So, we're slowly adding things in. Don't try to be everywhere all at once. We want to eventually get to an omnipresent marketing strategy, but that doesn't happen straight away, because if you try to do that straight away, you'll be everywhere and you'll just be shit everywhere. So the point is to get good somewhere and then figure out how to get good somewhere else eventually. I'm going to put my jewelry on now before I do my hair because it's tangled. I need to figure that out. Okay, so if you're at sales and visibility issue, those are the things you need to focus on. How you know this is working, the sales and visibility work around your social media, your content, deeply understanding your clients and your customers and what they need, their problems, their desires, how to communicate with them, how to sell, how to price to them as well. This is somewhere where people I see totally stuff up all the time. Is they're like, my audience is mums in 4th trimester and I want to help them. And it's like, okay, cool, that's amazing, that's great. And they're like, I want to charge $5,000 for one call with these mums who are on maternity leave, who have just had a baby and don't have the financial freedom that they previously once had. And I'm like, are you curious? Are you kidding me? So, like what am I doing? There's a match, there's a price point conversation that needs to be had to understand deeply your target audience, what they need from you, how to solve their problems, what they actually desire, and then also what are they going to pay you, right? Because what you want to be paid and who you want to help can sometimes be different conversations. Let's just be really honest about that. I feel like this chain either needs to be longer or shorter. This one is my family crest, actually. That's my Leslie clan from Scotland. And I don't know, I feel like the chain needs to be longer or shorter, or maybe this one needs to be shorter. It's not sitting right. Okay, so how we know that's working. Welcome to my ADHD show where we go around in circles and talk about lots of different things, but I promise there is value at the end. That's better. Okay. How we know that's working is your social media growth is increasing. You've got growth on your social media channel, at least one channel that you're focusing on really well. You've got growth. You've got inquiries and leads coming in. You should be getting inquiries and leads every day, if not every week. And if you're just starting out, let's go for some monthly goals, but you will know your social media, your pricing, your marketing, your visibility, your positioning, how you are like pitching yourself as someone worthy of being paid for whatever product and service you're doing. You will know that's working when you have inquiries, leads, DMs, website traffic, obviously all those metrics that we want to see growth in. But the most important one is you will know that's working if you've got inquiries and leads coming in, if you've got more followers, if you've got newsletter subscribers, if you've got saves and shares on your content. That's the kind of most important thing at this stage, because sometimes there's this leak in the boat between getting visibility right and social media content and your marketing right and that conversion to the next stage. Or you can get the sales, but then they're not repeat buying, they're not re-signing, they're not working with you long term, they're being really shitty clients, you've got awful clients coming through your funnels. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's the next stage. So sales and visibility, that's the first phase, phase 1. We're going to come back after I'm doing my hair and we're going to talk about how to do a 90-day plan if you're struggling with the sales and visibility page. So I would say if you're watching right now and you're struggling with sales, visibility, marketing, let me know your business and what specifically you want help in and who you help, and let's see if we can come up with a 90-day strategy right now, right? Fuck it, let's do that. Straighten or curls? Straighten or curls? Let's go with just like a kink in between. Okay. If my hairdresser's watching, please don't be mad at me. I still don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to give it a try. Okay, so that was the first phase, sales and visibility. If you want to know what I would do for a 90-day strategy, if I needed to improve sales and visibility in my business, comment your business and who you help, like your ideal client, and let's see if we can come up with a plan for you for the next 90 days. Okay, so the next phase is customer experience and loyalty. The symptom of this, remember we're doing like I'm a doctor and I'm going to fix your business. Dr. Shona, right? The symptom of this in your business will be if you're getting sales, but then they're asking for refunds, or they're not keeping up with their payment plan, or they are really shitty clients, or they don't repeat purchase, especially if you've got products, if you're a product-based business and they're not repeat buying, they're not setting up and coming back over and over again, like, oh my God, I love this. I just bought 6 months worth, so I don't miss out next time you restock. If you're not having those conversations with your clients, it's indicating to me that we have a customer experience / loyalty problem. And this is where it's like the back end of your business is letting everything down. That's where you're struggling, because your clients either aren't feeling supported, they're not feeling excited about the process. And it comes back to, do you know your customer buyer type? Because each buyer type will have different requirements at this level of business. But it really comes back to are you taking care of your clients in a way that they are obsessed with your brand? That they are so freaking excited that they just want to be involved in it and shout it from the rooftop, and they want to sign up and they become the biggest advocate for your brand, for your product. They just freaking love it, right? And if that's not happening, you've got a customer experience and a loyalty issue. And there are many, many ways to fix that. But the main things you need to know is that if that is a problem, you probably don't have the back-end systems to support your business set up right. So let me know if that's something you're struggling with. You're not getting repeat buyers, you're not having people naturally upgrade themselves to the next kind of level within your business. You're struggling to retain clients. All that type of stuff is symptomatic of customer experience and loyalty. And all this can be fixed very easily, actually, often. But it takes a willingness to really look at yourself and be like, where can I do better? If I'm getting lots of emails about, hey, when is my book going to be shipped? When is my product on my way? Have you sent it yet? You know that there's a leak in the boat at that point. And instead of replying to a million emails about, yep, you can check your tracking number here, or I'll check up on your order for you, can you implement something, an email that goes out maybe a day after someone's ordered to say, hey, here's all the information you could possibly want to know about your order, including shipping times, who we ship through, how to check your order status. What, mate?
Do you know where
What?
the reversible like vacuum cleaner things are?
Reversible. Up in the linen press
That's the linen press.
where the towels are. Up the top of that, there should be all the extra vacuum parts. Cool. That's my son. He's home this morning because he has a couple of appointments this afternoon that I need to take him to. He has a very long list of chores, one of them being vacuum the couches. Hence why he's asking for the vacuum accessories that plug onto that. Yeah, so you got to ask yourself, where are the leaks in the boat? If I've got customers consistently experiencing and sending me questions about shipping, where do I need to include more information or assure them of the process or fill that leak in the boat? If the leak is in the fact I never get repeat orders, how do you fix that? How do you add either subscription-based models onto your products? How do you make them so obsessed with your product? How do you follow up to know that they loved it, that they want to reorder? How do you incentivize them to do that? How do you create a fucking amazing experience for your clients? Do you have that set up? Do you have abandoned cart sequences set up? Do you have testimonial capture sequences set up? Are you educating and celebrating and offering them things to incentivize them to stay loyal to your brand and your company? It doesn't just magically happen. You don't just magically get brand loyalty and an amazing customer experience. You have to focus on it. When I ran my spray tanning company, I would individually, this is back like before automated SMSs. This is back before like, not before Instagram, early days of Instagram, when I was running my spray tanning business. I would individually message all of my clients the day after to ask how they were loving their spray tan, if they needed any other support, if they needed any more information on aftercare, if it was looking good, if they were happy with it. And there's a reason why I had people book years in advance to get spray tans with me. They also would always make sure before their appointment, I sent them all the information they could possibly need to prep for their spray tan. But I automated it. It was a copy-paste script that I DM'd, or it was Facebook messaged, or text messaged out to them with all the pre-work, all the information they could possibly need, answer any questions they could possibly ask me about having a spray tan. Can I shave before? Can I wax before? What do I need to do before? What should I eat before? Will the pill affect my spray tan? I put all of it into a text and I sent that to them so they had all the information they needed to have a good experience with my business, right? Before my calls now with my clients, they get a bunch of emails with all the information they could possibly need. Here is the link. Here's how to click. Here's how you communicate with me. Here's how I communicate with you. Here are the boundaries. Here are the expectations. Here is access to all the resources you could possibly need. It's about providing an amazing customer experience and working on the loyalty and just thinking, for me, it's always come back to paying attention to when I've had shitty customer service experiences and making sure I'm not going to do that in my business, right? I'm always striving to create a better experience for my clients, and that's why I have like an 80% retention rate with my business. Clients sign with me for years. My average coaching contract with someone, I figured this out the other day, is 18 months. 18 months, right? And I didn't even sign contracts for that long. I think my longest, at the moment, I've got an end of financial year offer that allows people to sign like a 9-month contract with me. They only have to pay 4 months. Actually, I think we've sold those spots. I think it's 6 months. But yeah, so like 6 months is the max amount of contract, and yet my average length of time with a client is 18 months. Customer loyalty matters. That is how you retain clients. So if you're struggling with that area, you need to focus on your customer lifetime value. If you don't understand that, it is basically what is the average spend of your customer. So once you get a customer or a lead or an inquiry, what is the kind of the minimum amount that you can expect from that person? So my customer lifetime value is about $400. If you've got a product-based business, it's probably going to look a little bit different to that. Let's shake some of these out a bit because that's intense. But basically, you've got to know for every lead and inquiry that I get, what is the customer lifetime value over their lifespan with my company? How much are they going to spend and invest and add to my company value? And that way, that figure is something that I'm always focused on increasing, because I know that that is loyalty to my brand. And once you've got a client, if you're having to go out and spend money on ads and advertising and time and energy on procuring your inquiries and leads, which you still do need to do to some extent because you're growing a business, but if you have to do that, wouldn't you want to make sure that once you've got that lead, that customer, that inquiry, that you're getting the most bang for your buck, that you are going to be able to, like, it's so much easier to take care of a client you've already got than to go and find a new client. This is when I see people slip up. They can be so good at marketing and sales and getting new people in the door, and then they take care of them so badly. There's just no follow-up. There's no follow-through. There's no actually delivering on what they said they would deliver. There's no care after they've got that sale. And that's where they are constantly, they lose people out of that funnel. That's the leak in the boat. So instead they're bucketing water out of the boat, trying to keep their sales high. And, you know, what am I trying to say? Yeah, bucketing water out, but really they're trying to fill their funnel. That's a really backwards analogy. They're trying to fill their funnel constantly instead of plugging the hole where it's all leaking out. Making sense? So customer experience and loyalty is a big one. That's where you need to focus on your customer service. Understanding your customer lifetime value, understanding your offer suite, your sexy offer suite. This is something everyone should be focusing on, and that is what's next for a client. You've purchased this product or service, what's next? What's the next step? What are they interested in? What's the next thing that they would be? And it's not about constantly upselling. Oh my God, you see those people where it's like, you've got to go through 15 fucking pages after you just want to download a free ebook because they're going to like upsell. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a logical next step. Your client is here. What is the logical next step for them? Right? So if a client of mine is in the archive membership, the logical next step for them is to join the 90-day challenge because it's a higher level of support. If someone's in the 90-day challenge, the logical next step for them, because that's group support, is to add on Voxer mentoring because then they get my one-on-one access all the time. So there is always like a logical next step. And if you don't have a logical next step for your clients, how the hell are you going to retain them? Right? Customer service and customer experience is one thing. But providing a logical next step is the next thing. And so many people miss this. And so they're constantly burning themselves out trying to get new clients instead of taking care of the ones that they have or making sure that there is a natural upgrade through an offer suite. So yeah, offer suites, CLV, what else have we got? Pricing. This is sometimes where your pricing needs an adjustment as well, where you can add in different support levels, where you can add on subscription services. If you're a product-based business, that usually works really, really well to add subscriptions in, or recurring purchases, recurring orders, that type of stuff. That can work really well. What's that noise? Oh, that's a vacuum cleaner. Right, I just asked him to vacuum, and now I'm like, what is that noise? Anyway, customer experience, and then also automation and delegation. You're probably going like, oh my God, Shona, I don't have time to text every client who comes to my therapy session or my beauty salon, whatever it is, and make sure they've had a good experience. It's like, okay, but there is nothing stopping you automating all of that, right? You can automate pretty much everything these days to make your life easier. And that's why there really is no excuse for having a shitty customer experience. There isn't. And I won't stand for it. I really won't stand for it. I was part of a program last year, and I'm not being a bitter bitch about it, but it was a $7,000 program, right? So not like a smidge, not a little bit, right? $7,000 program. And when it was done, this is how I found out that it was finished. I went to post in the Facebook group and I just wasn't a part of it anymore. No email, no communication, no like, thanks for being a part of this. Here's where to leave a testimonial. Here's how to like download your documents that you needed. Here's how to get feedback. Nothing. $7,000, and the way I found out that the program was actually finished was just the Facebook group wasn't there anymore. Shitty customer experience, right? Really shitty. So you will notice that in my courses and programs and offerings, when you finish anything, there is still like weeks of emails that come out to you, supporting you, checking in with you, celebrating you, asking for feedback surveys. Please tell us, did you get what you expected to get out of this program? Was it priced accordingly? Did you have a good experience? Is there anything that we could do better, right? All of that, plus testimonial captures, all of the stuff you expect from like a luxury hotel in regards to your stay. I want 5-star experience for my clients all the time, regardless if they bought a $100 program or a $10,000 program. Same experience, same level of care. I want them to feel appreciated no matter what. So that's your customer experience, but you can automate all of this. You should be sending people things out before they get their product or service. After they get their product service, you should be checking in with them. You should always be asking for feedback. You should always be asking for testimonials, and all of that type of stuff can be structured, can be automated, can be delegated, and it should be. If you've got a business right now that requires someone to purchase something from you and wait for you to email 6 weeks later to say, sorry, I forgot about your order, but here I'm going to get to it this week. That is absolutely not good enough. Just call yourself a hobbyist, because that's all you have going right now. Because real businesses give a shit about the customer experience after the sale is made, right? So that's the second part of your funnel that you need to work on, is automations, systems, customer experience, offer suites, and naturally upgrading people through that cycle. And then the third part of your business, let's talk about the symptoms for that. And I call this like CEO leadership scaling level. I'm working on names for all this. It's a work in progress. But basically at this level, the symptom, the problem that you're experiencing in your business right now is you're burnt the fuck out. You're working way too much. You don't necessarily have a problem getting clients or making sales, but you are like working an insane amount. You're probably pretty stressed, and you might not be stressed about the financials, like you know you can make more money, you've got clients coming out of your ears, but you'd be stressed in other areas like your relationship, your health, your staff, managing everything. You just feel like there's not enough hours in the day. You've probably got a wait list of clients or like a massive amount of pre-orders, so you can't actually keep up with the demand for your product and service. That's probably the cornerstone of this, but it's also affecting probably your mental health, your actual physical health, your life in other ways. And that's when it's clearly time to not only work on your CEO mindset and leadership, but actually scaling and growth. And you're probably thinking right now, who the hell has this problem, Shona? Really? If you're making so many sales and inquiries and leads, you wouldn't have a problem, right? Managing it and keeping on top of everything, wrong. So many of my clients who come to work with me, and probably, I want to say my higher level clients, so the ones who work with me in Voxer mentoring, are usually in this space. They are really good at what they do. They're probably already making quite a large amount of money, probably 10, 20,000 up to $200,000 a month. But the rest of their life is kind of falling apart. And they've got all this work and things are going amazing, but they almost are like, but I don't have time to step back and teach someone else how to do it. I don't have time to hire staff. It's quicker if I do it myself. That's probably one of your big red flags. And I've been so fucking guilty of this, even recently, is to say, I'm too busy. I can do it quicker. I'll just do it myself, right? That is when probably the biggest red flag symptom that you are stuck in this phase of business and you don't know how to move out of it is it's just quicker if I do it. Or I'm better at it, or I don't trust my staff or my team or my VA or anyone else to do it the way I do it. And that is a huge red flag. That is your quickest indicator that you are very close to burnout, my dear, if not already in it. So at this point in your business, if that is the type of stuff that you are struggling with, what did I curl my hair? I just curled it the wrong way twice. I meant to go alternating directions. Anyway, so much intention into my hair to make it look like it's sex hair and that I put no thought into it. Isn't that ridiculous? Anyway, at this point in your business, your biggest hurdle and the thing you need to focus on the most, which is also the hardest thing to hear at this level, because I think at the other two levels, like at the stage one where you're struggling with sales and visibility and actually like making money and growing your business like that and being known for what you do, getting new inquiries and leads, you're expecting when I say, hey, you need to focus on marketing and messaging, positioning, you need to work on your customer buyer types, you need to do better at social media. You're kind of like, okay, I'm expecting that. And then at the second phase, when you're struggling with resales and loyalty and you've got so many shitty clients and you've got people asking for refunds and all that type of stuff, when I come in and say, hey, we've actually got to focus on, guess what, like it's not always that you've just got awful clients, let's have an actual look at your systems, where are you being an awful business owner? You're kind of expecting that to some extent, but at this point where you're a business owner that's doing very, very well, and I come in and I tell you, hey, guess what? The problem is actually your boundaries and standards. Your problem is actually learning to fucking let go. Your problem is actually we need to look at having that went so Shirley Templed. We need to actually put into place a business that can actually sustain and grow and create legacy and be scaled and all that type of stuff. And the business owners at this phase struggle with that the most because they're like, fuck off. No, I'm just going to keep doing it my way, where I do everything and hustle like insane and completely burn myself out and then close everything and go from one pendulum swing to the other. And like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not slowing down. How dare you tell me to have boundaries? How dare you tell me to not say yes to every single client? Like, how very dare you suggest that I offboard and hire someone to help me? You know, there's this massive element of resistance because if you're at this point, you're already busy, you're already overworked, you've already probably got a huge client load or like so many things to do in your business that things are slipping through the cracks. And the thought of actually having to add another thing like putting systems into place, overhauling a few, like your back end things, scaling or changing your business model so it's more scalable, hiring and bringing in staff, delegating, outsourcing with systems, all that type of thing just feels like another fucking thing on your to-do list. So you go, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to figure it out. Or if you're constantly saying like, after this week, it'll get easier. After next week, it'll get easier. All those types of things is that very clear indicator. Kids have been playing with this ring and it's all strapped out. A very clear indicator that the thing you don't want to do the most is the thing that you actually need to do. And that is, your CEO mindset, leadership, scaling and growth. So at this point in your business, you're not focused on how do I get more sales? How do I be seen as an expert? How do I position myself to get more visibility for me and my brand, my products, offers, whatever it is? At this point, you are actually looking at where do I need to shift my perspective? Where do I need to embody someone who is a leader, who is a CEO, who makes decisions from that space, not someone who's just barely surviving place? Where do I need to put something in place so that I can leverage my time in my business? And, that works for both product and service-based business, and it's going to always look different at that point. It's not as simple as like the stock standard advice that everyone hears is, well, if you've got a wait list and you're booked out and you can't take any more clients, build a course. And I just want to hit them in the face with a shovel when they say dumb shit like that. Because courses are not for everyone. Courses should not be the be-all answer for every single person, every single industry, to just like, okay, well, you're burnt out and can't take any more clients, so let's teach other people how to do what you do. No, that's not the answer. That can sometimes be the answer. Sometimes, with a lot of nuance and clarity and specific tailor-made options, if that is a vibe for you. But it's not the only answer. There is so many other things you can do. You should be thinking about bringing on staff. Where can you leverage and outsource systems? Bringing on people that do what you do. You can shift into an agency model. You can shift into a subscription-based model. There are so many different things you can do at this point, but it requires an element of temporary uncomfortableness to step out of survival into a temporarily chaotic shit show to get to the thrive point. And to be able to hold yourself with new boundaries and new standards. The majority of people get stuck at this point and either completely burn themselves out or end up just folding everything and going back to work for someone else, which is totally okay. That's not like, I'm not demonizing that whatsoever. But they get to that point and it could have been avoided sooner if we had the conversations around boundaries and standards. And then another key issue I see from people at this point is when they do bring team on, they're like best friends with their team. And it's all about the culture and the fun we have in office and all that. And it just backfires every time because you're still at that employee place, because you're having employee relationships with your employees that you brought on to make your life easier. And often they make your life so much harder because you haven't held them to a new level of boundary, respect and standard with you, or you don't have the systems in place to actually make the most of someone coming into your business, right? And I've been guilty for this in the past. When I hired my first assistant, my business was a shit show. It was a mess. It probably took her a good year to get it organized. So shout out Katrina. I'm sorry about that. But for my second assistant that I brought on and my third assistant that I eventually brought on, by the time they walked in, it was like, here is your onboarding document. Here is all the files for every product or offer in my business. Here is all the information you could need. Here is how I launch a podcast. Here is how I launch a YouTube. Here is the expectations for you and for me. There is an SOP for everything in my business. I've literally got it all set up in Notion. It's so pretty. It's like YouTube. You open it. There's SOPs. Here's our community engagement policy. Here is the voice and tone that we speak to people on our YouTube comments when we respond to it. Here is how we respond to this. Here's the pitch deck that we send out to podcast guests. Here is the email templates for every question that could possibly come through. Here is how we respond. It is so fucking idiot proof. It is so idiot proof. But it is also, I can have someone walk into my business and be ready to work in my business on week 1. I don't need to hold their hand for 3 months while they figure it out. They don't have to come back to me and ask me every 10 minutes, hey, I've just got this email through about this thing and how would you like me to respond? That maybe comes through like 10% of the time when it's, hey, do you want this opportunity or not? but I don't have to say, hey, please send back to them, say this and say that. It's just like, nope, I'm not going to do that. And then they can go in, pull the like the turn down response, or I don't think we're a good fit response, and they send it through. Everything is so systemized for consistency, but also so my team knows exactly what they are doing all the time, and they don't have to come and waste my time with questions on how to do everything like that. So my time is focused on the things that bring me the most money and things that make me the most joy, which is working with clients. It's just, yeah, that's what it is, right? So at that point in your business, the biggest hurdle is the mindset, it is the boundaries, it is the standard, and that is a consistent theme along. It's irritating. I think it paused. Anyway, so those are the 3 business buckets, or the phases, or the bottlenecks that people get stuck in. It's either a sales and visibility issue, it's a loyalty and customer experience / systems issue, or it is a leadership mindset scaling issue. Those are the 3 areas, right? And often people come in and they think they've got a problem in one area. They're like, I need to scale my business. And I'm like, it's actually not that. It's actually a customer loyalty problem. Or they're like, I want to like work on my pricing and my offer suites. And I was like, first, let's figure out your marketing, because that's a shit show. So it's often not what we expect to be focusing on, but it's what we need. Okay, so then how does a 90-day plan look for each of those? And if you want specific help and you're watching, whether it's the replay or the live, comment with your business and who you help and where you're feeling stuck, and let's actually put a 90-day plan together right now for you. But in the meantime, before those come through, I'm just going to run with it anyway. So if you were doing a 90-day plan, oh no, there's hairspray all over my clip. I hate that when it's a matte clip and then it gets all funny. If you were stuck in the visibility and sales issue and you needed to do a 90-day plan to move forward, and your entire goal was going to be around obviously getting more sales, but maybe you are a local business, right? So your clients are local, your service is local. You might service an area, like you're a therapist or you're a hairdresser or something like that. So your audience base is local. So there's no point in you focusing on like a global social media campaign, you know what I mean? But you want to get more clients locally. That's the goal, right? So what are you going to do every single day to bring in more inquiries and leads into your local hairdressing business? You are probably going to look at like news, flyer drops in your area, because it's local based marketing, right? It's local based marketing. People don't get letters anymore. They either get occasionally bills or government documents, or they get like Domino's pizza flyers that go on the fridge, because like we all need that for when, not the toilet paper. My puppy is obsessed with toilet paper, so we can't leave toilet papers on the roll holder anymore, because she just takes off with it, and then there's chewed up bits of toilet paper all over the house. Anyway, oh, sorry Shelby. Do you guys want to see Shelby? Should we say hi? I kind of don't want to get dog hair all over my black clothes, but that's what lint rolls are for, only. Hi. You say hello? Ah, puppy breath. Lovely. Okay. You go bother Eric. Hey? Go bother Eric. Right? Oh, not too much. That's good. I didn't realise Frenchies like shed between summer and winter, so yeah, I had to very quickly buy all the vacuum attachments for dog hair because that was walking everywhere. Right. What the fuck was I talking about? Local hairdressing business, 90-day strategy. You would focus on, how do I get my business in front of local people? And that is, how do I incentivize them to come and book in with me? This is where you're probably going to be doing posters. You're going to be doing flyer, like letterbox drops for your local community. You are definitely going to want to have stickers on your cars and that type of thing. You're definitely going to want to be wearing, if you have the logos on your uniforms, wearing them everywhere, to kids' sporting events, to the shop to pick up groceries. I know there's that part of us that's like, I want to switch off and not be at work. And it's like, well, do you want new clients? Suck it up, babe. Then you want to be completely branded, whether that's your car, your clothes, anything like that. And then you want to be in community Facebook groups as well. And you probably want to go in and spend 5 minutes every single day on, what are you eating? What have you got? What the fuck is that? The back of a mobile phone case. whatever, have that, that's fine. You want to be in community Facebook groups, you know, like your like local community chat and all that type of stuff. You want to probably spend 15 minutes in there every single day, responding to anyone who's going like, hey, do you know somewhere that does really good for blonde hair? Do you know somewhere that's really good for extensions? And you want to just take 15 minutes, use the search function to do like hair, blonde, stylist, whatever your expertise is in, and just see if there's any comments you can reply to on there. And it's just like setting aside, okay, I wake up in the morning, at 8 o'clock I have my first coffee, 10 o'clock if, you know, you're trying to be good, whatever. And then sit down, there's 15 minutes in the Facebook groups, responding to anyone who could potentially be looking for what you're looking for, and just letting them know, hey, we actually specialize in blonde hair, we do hair extensions here, book in, or, you know, let me know you found us on Facebook group and I'll do 10% off. Whatever it is, you can add a little incentive like that if you want to get new clients through the door, if you want to ramp up sales. It is a good idea. I'm not saying do it all the time, but it's a good option, right? It's that little incentive. And I think especially if you're doing something like hairdressing, it's very easy for women to go like, I booked in, but she did me a really good deal. She did me a discount to their partners. So you come home and spend $500 on getting your hair done. It's like, yeah, but that's like, it was going to be way much. It was going to be so much more. So I got it on sale, right? So just being smart about your marketing. Excuse the dog noises in the background. Yeah, so I would focus on local things like that. So every single day going in a Facebook group, answering questions, every single day aiming like on your normal walk, like go for a walk with the kids or whatever, to put 50 flyer like letter boxes out in a letterbox drop, putting posters up in your local area, making sure you're branded all the time going out, community groups. And then I would run like a Facebook specific ad targeting your target audience within a very condensed location. And I'll be running that at least $2 a day, optimized for 90 days to just see the results. If they click on the ad or whatever, you'd probably do a retarget, offering them like a new client discount. I would almost go even further to emailing your current list or your current database of clients and offering them refer us, or if a friend comes in, like please share us on social media. We are opening up our books. We are looking for new clients. If you love what we've done for you, if you love coming to see us, please share us with your friends and family. If someone comes in and you refer them to them, you'll actually get 10% off your next service, right? So activating your audience to do your marketing for you, really. And you can only do that if you've actually given them good customer experience and they've got loyalty with your brand and you actually do a good job. Okay, so let's just preface that as well, because nothing can backfire harder than you haven't done a good job and you'll message them like, hey, can you send this referral code? And they're like, bitch, you fried my hair off, right? Stop it. You're so loud. Yeah, so you've got to be good at what you do, obviously, before you go and ask people referrals, but tapping into your referral network. And then a step further, this is insane. I'm giving you like 6 months worth of business strategy right here. I would go a step further and work on like who can be a referral partner. If you're a hairdresser who specializes in blonde or specializes in extensions and you want to grow locally and get new clients, can you find another salon that's like a beauty clinic, or maybe they do waxing, or maybe they do like something like I used to do, spray tanning from home, and say, hey, can we meet up for coffee? I'm a local hairdresser. You do this. I would love to refer my clients to you because I don't offer that service. And maybe you could refer your clients to me, and maybe I could put some of your business cards in my salon. You could put some of my business cards in your salon. Like, it's that referral partnership, because people forget that with communities, people are wanting referrals. They will ask on a community group page about, hey, who's visited this business, or where should I go for a martini on Friday night? Because none of my fucking local bars know how to make an actual martini. They only know how to, I ate the hairspray. They only know how to make an espresso martini, which I'm like, that's cool, guys. But I want a martini. Like, if you know how to do an espresso, anyway, sorry. If it was me and I would go onto a community group and ask for like, who knows which clubs around here, or bars, clubs, what the fuck, it's the Barossa. Which bars do a proper martini here? And I would get recommendations before I went to Google, right? So yes, Google SEO, important if you're a local based business, important if you're any business, but especially local based. But those community groups, right? Your customer experience with your clients to ensure loyalty, they're going to be the ones tagging you 40 times When someone says, hey, does anyone know any blonde specialists or hair extension specialists? You're going to get tagged from the clients who currently use you, which is why your customer experience process is so important. Is this kind of landing? Right, so if that's, is this landing, is this making sense? If you wanted to increase your new clients and sales for a service-based business that focuses on a local clientele, those are the things I would do for 90 days. Every single day I'll be putting flyers, putting out posters, engaging in Facebook groups, and then overall strategy, I would be making sure I'm branded every time I leave the house. Actually, sorry, that would be part of your daily plan. The monthly plan, I would be every single month, I would introduce a new one. So month 1, I would focus on reaching out to current clients and asking for referrals. Month 2, I would focus on local networks and building referral partners. Phase 3, I would focus on really implementing a ad strategy for the next 90 days. And if you do that, if you did all of that and took those little action steps every single day for 90 days, at the end of 90 days, there is no fucking way you wouldn't be completely booked out and looking for another staff member and have clients coming out of your ears, right? 90-day plans work when you know what problem you want to fix and you're willing to do the action. You're willing to actually show up every day as if you have a boss, someone else telling you you need to vacuum the floors before the store opens, and you know every single day I have to do 15 minutes of engagement in those Facebook groups. I have to put out 50 flyers and I have to wear my uniform every single day when I leave this house. If you treat it like that and you do it for 90 days, the results are insane, right? It is so easy to do, and yet it is so easy not to do because people try to do it themselves and they don't have accountability and they don't check in and they fall off the bandwagon, they get discouraged, and like diets and all that shit, right? You can have a gym membership that costs you $9 a week. And when it only costs you $9 a week and it's just a gym membership that you can log in anytime and go to, it's really freaking easy to just not go. To just say, not today, it's warm in bed, I don't want to go. That's the difference between having just a regular gym membership and having a PT that you pay $150 for a session, who you better fucking believe if you don't turn up on a Monday morning at 6:30 to do that workout, you're going to get a phone call. And you're still paying for that session, but you're going to get an angry phone call from your PT like, hi, Shona, what the fuck are you doing? Get your lazy ass out of bed and I will see you in 15, right? That is the difference between why those people get results. And the people who buy the $9 a week gym membership and never go probably don't see the results, right? So that's how it works. Okay, so the second point, let's move into phase number 2. Melissa, yes, I've done this before with another job and it worked a treat. You got my brain ticking more. Yeah. So that's the whole point of a 90-day plan, is daily action to move forward. And some people like to use it from, they set a big goal, like having to launch a book in 90 days, and they break it down into one little thing they've got to do each of those days to get to that point. But for the majority of people, the best way to do it is actually, what step do I need to take every day to consistently build momentum, visibility, inquiries, leads, sales, to engage my customers, all that type of stuff. Secondary, if you're moving into, and your problem is in, and I've got to hurry up because I've got to get to a meeting. If your problem is customer loyalty and that back-end experience, which we just talked about. So if you've missed that, go back and watch the information on what that looks like. But if you're at that phase and you are struggling to get repeat orders, to get testimonials, if you're like getting people in the door once and then never again, and you're kind of going, oh, what the fuck? Your 90-day plan, let's just say you're a product-based business. Let's say it's e-commerce and online, because we've already done like an in-person local service-based example. Let's do product-based online. If you're going to do a 90-day plan to grow your business, and instead of focusing on sales and visibility, we're going to focus on customer experience and loyalty. This is what it would look like for me, and I'm probably drawing a little bit of experience of clients I've worked with in this specific scenario. Every single day, I would be making sure I'm checking my emails, all the customer service emails, and replying to anything that comes through. Every single day, I would make sure I am checking all my Facebook page, all my social media DMs, making everything sure all inquiries are getting back to straight away. I wouldn't be setting up ManyChat or anything like that at this stage, because you really need enough information to know, what are my clients asking the most? What problem am I having to fix the most? where is the leak in this customer experience funnel that I need to fix? And to do that, you need to have conversations with people to figure that out before you start automating those conversations. So yeah, I'll be checking my emails, checking all of my social media platforms to be able to respond time efficient to anything that comes in. We have a rule in my business, it's been in here since 2019, and that is we have a 24 to 48 hour email response time. It's gone to 48 hours recently, only because my systems are so good that a lot of the times people answer their own information before we have to respond to them. It's usually like actually 5 minutes after they email, they're like, I can't find this, where is it? And they're like, don't worry, I found it. So once they look back in it. So you've got to have a response time that's okay. If you had tickets to an event and you needed to know if there was available wheelchair parking and you contacted the event owner 8 times over 3 weeks and they never got back to you, really shitty customer experience, right? You need to make sure that inquiries that are coming through, people who have purchased your products with inquiries that are coming through, it's a quick response time. And I think the biggest flag on this is a trick I learned. If you need to get through to a company, so say I'm going to call an insurance company and I'm a current customer of them, but the last few times I've called, I've been on hold an hour to speak to someone. You don't call through on the I'm a current customer, input my details line. Fuck no. You call through on I'm interested in buying your product line, because you get straight through. And that in itself is fucking horrific, right? Bad business. But that's the way they do it. So you know now as a consumer, I'm going to call through and say, I'm a new client. And then when I get on the phone, I'm going to be like, can you actually transfer me to someone who can deal with this straight away? Otherwise, I'm not going to be a client anymore. And then it goes through to the right team, hopefully a little bit faster because it's been transferred. Usually does for me in my experience. Because I'm always writing down the times when I'm on phone calls. So I have tracked it a little bit. It does work. But you don't want your clientele to have the same experience. If you can flip the switch, is how you lock in customer loyalty, is if you actually go customer service inquiries or current clients, please email support at email address. I have admin at email address. That actually, if you put the like tagline and support or help or anything like that, it gets flagged faster. It basically comes up like fucking red in the inbox. So my team is like, that's the first thing we deal with, is the people who have already bought from us and paid us. We deal with their stuff first, actually, before new inquiries and sales coming through. And I feel like that's where the rest of the world has it fucking switched backwards. So if you can do it this way, that's how you lock in that customer loyalty even stronger, right? So if I was doing a 90-day plan focused on customer loyalty and experience, that's what I would be doing every single day, checking my emails, responding to everything really efficiently, social medias, DMs, and then the secondary part of that would be follow-up. If you don't have automatic follow-up sequences put in yet, call me, we'll talk about that. But yeah.
Want my picture?
Let's go. Yeah, cool. How's your to-do list doing?
I done one job.
Okay, could you make a move?
I'm still eating. I'm making tacos.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna head out in about 15 minutes.
Where you go?
I got a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do I have to take you for a walk exactly 30 minutes?
It has to be over 30 minutes for a walk. Yeah, and I got to pick you up at 11:30, so you got to organise your time. God, I'm an awful mum. Engaging customer DMs, emails, the follow-up sequence. Can you see how my ADHD brain works? I got like ADHD, I got like track back to figure out what I was talking about. Yeah, so that's the point. You are also probably going to be wanting to spend 10 to 15 minutes a day working on your customer experience, like actual systems and things in place to work on that. And that goes, okay, like what is, like for this week in phase 1 of the 90-day plan, week 1, I'm going to spend 15 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day, whatever it is, working on building out my office suite and adjusting things in the back end to build out that sexy office staircase. And then week 2, I'm going to work on creating facts and FAQ sections on my website to hopefully answer people's questions and make them feel supported. And then week 3, for that 15, 20 minutes a day, I am going to work on an email testimonial capture sequence. And then the week after that, for 15 to 20 minutes a day, I'm going to reach out to past purchasers or like people who have ordered my products, and I'm going to just check in. I'm like, from the founder, I'm going to check in, be like, hey, Chloe, I saw that you ordered our moisturizer a few months ago. I just wanted to check in and see how it's going for you. Let me know if you have any feedback, any questions, that type of stuff. Week 5 of the 90-day plan, you're probably going to spend 15-20 minutes a day setting up abandoned cart sequences. After you see how this structure, like, you've got things that you need to do every single day to keep on top of that experience and service, and then you've got longer term projects that need to be actioned, and you just break it down into little chunks of the day, right? Because I'm not saying to you like, hey, you need to write 52 emails and put that into a sequence today. It's going, okay, maybe one day I draft out what the email journey needs to look at. The next day I'm going to sit down and write the first half of the email sequence. The third day I'm going to create the graphics. The fourth day I'm going to add it in. So it's just little bits of daily action. In all my time doing 90-day plans, and in all my clients doing 90-day plans, I have never seen someone need to spend more than an hour daily on their 90-day plan. And you're probably like, but I could do 10 hours a day and really achieve it. And it's like, but you could do an hour a day and really achieve it too, and have much better work-life balance and still achieve your goals. Because the point isn't massive, intense one weekend of action and then nothing for the other 88 days. The point is daily, consistent action that builds momentum. And that is why it is so powerful. That is why this shit works. And if you were a product-based business focusing on customer loyalty and experience too, I would almost be bringing in like packaging options. What can I do to make this experience even better? What can I do to say thank you? What can I do to build loyalty within my brand and my consumers? There's a whole bunch of things we can look at there. So that's how I would use that part if you're struggling with those specific things. The third part of the business is the hardest, because this is a 90-day plan that if you're at that level of business where your problem is in growth and scaling and moving to the next level, the problem is in you have lots of clients, you've got a wait list, you've got orders to fill, you have no problem getting business, you have problem keeping up with your business. At that point, the advice I'm going to give you is probably really niched, and it's going to be specific to you, to your goals, where you're going, what you need to do to get there, the specific challenges of your business. Because you might have a business where we need to invest in, staff that is not going to be consumer facing. They're going to be warehouse staff. They're going to be people that are packing orders. And that's a very different hiring strategy to bringing someone into your business who is like the therapist, and we're putting on therapy staff who's very customer facing, or bringing on a marketing team, bringing on UGC content creators to leverage some of your time creating content. It's going to be a very unique strategy. But at that point, I've been in this point and I've got clients in this point. These are the bare minimum 90-day activity plans that I would encourage them to have for themselves. And this is why you'll see some of my examples. I'm like, here's how I structured my last 90-day plan. There's business stuff and then there's personal stuff. Because at that level, the leadership and CEO level, it's your business is only going to grow as much as you grow yourself. You're going to get capped out if you burn yourself out. Fuck, I'm in such a time limit right now. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So at that point, your daily CEO actions are like, am I eating properly? If my husband's watching this, don't judge me. I will get something to eat before I leave the house. So bad at this. Have I drunk enough water today? Am I getting enough sleep? So those would be your daily goals, because your bigger goals are going to be bigger things you've got to work over 90 days. It's going to be hiring staff. Have I met my boundaries? Have I held my standard? Do I need to adjust my pricing? There's lots of other stuff we're going to work on. But daily, did I get enough sleep? Have I drunk enough water? Have I eaten properly? Have I moved my body? Have I found something have I done something outside of my business that's brought me joy? Whether that's reading, whether that's working out, whether that's watching a funny movie. For me, like Will Ferrell and Talladega Nights, that's like a comfort watch for me. I fucking love it. So you've got to achieve those things instead. And so when you can look at someone like me that's like, oh, in this 90-day plan, I increased my business by 245%, and my marriage improved, and my mental health improved, and I lost 10 kilos. And people are like, how the fuck did you do that? And it's like, because I didn't focus on like, hey, I want to grow my business by 250% and I want to lose 10 kilos and I want to have better sex. I focused on what are the little things I need to do every single day to make me feel better, to improve my quality of life and my business growth. And those little things compounded to really, really big results. And that's the whole point. So in the leadership mindset scaling growth stage, there's going to be big, edgy, chaotic goals that you've got to work through, but it always comes back to the daily stuff of how are you taking care of yourself? How are you honoring your boundaries? Are you checking in with your team? Are you holding a new standard? Are you clocking off at some point? I know not going on my phone when I'm in my bedroom has been one of the hardest things ever. Seriously, because I've written most of my books from the notes in my phone until 2 o'clock in the morning, right? It has been the hardest thing ever. My sleep has improved dramatically. My skin has improved dramatically. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, everything's better. But from that little thing, it wasn't like, I'm going to get better sleep and I'm going to improve my skin and I'm going to still figure out how to grow my business. It was just like, maybe I make it a new rule that I don't go on my phone once I'm in my bedroom. One little thing compounded equals insane results. Okay, I have to jump off because I have to figure out what jacket to wear and I have meetings and appointments all day today. So yeah, I'm going to brush my teeth, which you guys don't need to watch because I will probably make a mess of it. I hope you got some value out of this. I'm excited. I'm going to download this and pull some content from it, snip it into some other things, share it in the 90-day challenge group because we've got another call coming up, I think next week. And then the next round, if you are interested and you want to learn more about the 90-day challenge, you can click the link in my bio, send me a DM, whatever, or just comment 90 and I think it will automatically send it to you. We officially begin for the next round of the 90-day challenge on July 1st. I think the enrollments at this point are due to close on the 25th of June, just so because you get a one-on-one call with me. I just needed to allow time in the calendar for people to have that one-on-one call, but I will be able to like look and see how my calendar's looking because honestly, I've already done a lot of the calls that are needed for the 90-day challenge. I've got girls who are like, had their calls, got their plan already, and they're just sitting there for like July 1st, like, I'm ready to go. So, so that's good. But yeah, if you want to know more about that, hit me up. It's amazing. We have 25 spaces open each round. So it is capped. And then the early bird's already done, but there are still payment plan options for this round as well. And it does include a one-on-one strategy session with me as well. So
harnesses?
Hanging up in the garage or it's fallen down. Okay, cool. I'm going to go deal with my life. I hope you guys have a great day and got some value out of that. If you did, send me a DM. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways. Okay. Actually, how do I end this? I haven't done one of these in a while. Is it just X? Yeah, there we go.